It's time. Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer is on your radio, your device, your tablet, your everywhere. Sit back and let Scott take you down the rabbit hole of beerdom.
Know your role and shut your mouth because the people's champ is ready to talk.
Here's Scott Fryer.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer. This is episode number 23. We are coming to you live on Facebook from the Epicure Studios at SNSN Radio. And man, I got a great show tonight. I have an awesome show. I've been looking forward to this show for weeks. I can't believe it's finally here. I got my man Jordan Hebenstreit here. And he is from Salvage USA, Marine Corps Sergeant, badass, recon, sniper, killer of Taliban. My man Jordan, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes.
We've been talking about doing this for a while.
Turn the volume up on the mics might help. Yes, we've been talking about doing this for a while. And we met at the Silkies hike. And I stood next to you when you gave the speech about your buddy who tragically took his own life right before. It was a couple weeks before the Silkie hike, correct?
Yeah.
And that really moved me. It touched me. Anytime I hear of any service member or veteran that gets to that point, and especially when it's somebody that I know or somebody that I know that is somebody that they know, it always gets me right here. And that's why I do the things that I do with the Silkies hikes and with Mission 22 and all, the push-ups. You know what? People say, "Oh, the push-ups, this and that." You know what though? You're trying to help whatever way you decide to help. It's helping. Even because if I'm doing those push-ups on Facebook, the 22 a day, and someone doesn't know what the 22 a day is, and then they read my post and say, "Why does this guy keep doing push-ups every day?" Then they read about why. That's bringing awareness to it, right? Because listen, we're aware, we're hyper aware. You're super hyper aware. Most veterans are aware of what the Mission 22 does and that whole thing. And you have something that I have learned about and something that I've 1,000% back and believe in. Salvage USA, that is your thing. So let's talk about a little bit. First, tell us about Salvage USA. And then we'll talk about how you got started, the whole thing. But tell us what you guys at Salvage USA, where are you located, what do you do, and how are you helping?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the number one, going back to the whole 22 a day thing, it gets mixed reviews, and a lot of people like, "Oh, that's great, it's fantastic." Right. But I think spreading the awareness, veterans know about it.
Yep.
Military related, affiliates know about it, but getting the general public to know about it is a different case,
right.
Different story. And so the push-ups are great. I think that specific thing, it spreads awareness to those who don't know about it.
Right.
But also, you need to have those people behind the scenes who are actually doing something about it.
Don't just talk.
Yep.
Yeah, be a doer. Be a doer,
do
man.
it.
Yep.
And so a really great friend of mine, Matt Lucero, he was a good friend of mine in recon, and he passed, and all of us were just, what's going on? Like, what happened?
Right.
A lot of us didn't even know about the addiction stuff. He didn't get the right care from the VA, and so he went alternative methods to relieve that pain. And so we all learned that later on down the road. But I found out about Matt, and I was with my wife, Krista.
It was right before your wedding too, right?
Yeah. Yep. And we were, she had this gig down in Brazil, and I went and tagged along as the dependent that I am now. And so love her for it. But found out about Matt. My buddy Jason called me.
Yep.
And, I went scuba diving the next day, and just the tranquility of being down there. When I'm diving, I don't think about what's going on up here.
Right.
I don't think about the world. I think about, is there a moray eel that's about ready to, pop out at me?
Yes,
or
when I'm
anything
diving,
like
I'm
that?
always looking behind me.
Yeah,
I'm turning around,
yeah,
looking behind me.
Exactly.
Not that would help me, because by the time I turn around and saw the shark, it's way too late.
It's too late.
Right, but I want to at least see it before it happens. So.
Exactly. And so, I couldn't help but, not think about Matt the entire time I was thinking about him. It's like, what if he was affiliated with a community of like-minded people once he got out?
Right.
He didn't really have that. And it was, it struck me pretty hard during that dive. And after Matt's funeral, I went to his mother's house. I was like, Susan, what happened? And she said, he really didn't have you guys here at home because he moved back home. And that just goes to prove that people, vets specifically, don't realize how important community and that family, that team is until it's too late and they're out of the military because, once you get out of the military, you're gone.
Right.
And you're on your own. You don't have that team anymore.
And listen, I mean, not to compare my situation with that or any other of those men who saw horrible things there, but I mean, everyone deals with things differently. I'm an alpha male. Most of us that are in the military were alpha males, right? Yep. I mean, you were Marine Recon, for God's sakes. That's alpha as you get. But I did 20.
Cold a lot.
I was in the Navy for 24 years. I was my entire adult life. Like half of my actual life was spent in the military. And after all of a sudden I retired, and that was great. It was awesome, right? For I took 2 months off. I had 2 months of leave saved up.
A whopping 2 months out of 20 years.
Right. I did nothing. I did jack shit for 2 months.
Yep.
Spent time with my kids, spent time with my wife, spent time around the house. I just did nothing. And I didn't stress about anything. But then when that time was up, I said, hey, you got to start trying to find a job. Because that's a tough process. When, as trainable as we are and as much skill as we have, the job market is, it's tough. And I was adamant about I wanted to get out and I wanted to do something outside the military. I don't want to. The military paid a lot of money to train me and do what I did, but I did what I did. It was over. I did it. It was gone. But I wanted to do something in the private sector. So I was looking for a while, and then that starts to wear on you because you can't find a job, right? I went from being a Navy chief on a submarine in charge of an entire division to being
which is awesome.
Yeah. That's cool. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Now I'm in charge of my kids. That's it. And they don't listen anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, that's not as cool?
No, it's not. So, I was trying to, the stress of trying to find a job and not being able to find a job was starting to wear on me. But then I started, I would find myself driving on the base for no reason. I didn't know why the hell I was even on the base. I would just be driving. I didn't need to go to the commissary. I didn't need to go to the exchange. I was just on base. I'm like, what the heck am I doing, man? And my wife said, you're irritable. And I think I was going through some depression, man. And I didn't, it's not PTSD, but it's something different because you 1000% hit it on the head. And that's what triggered me to say that is because when you get out, you're around these guys, your friends, the people that are in the military or have served in the military, you understand that. Or if you're on any kind of team, right? Any kind of sports team is the same thing. Those are your battle buddies, man. Those are the people that know you because they're the same person as you, with a different look and a different name, same uniform, but you're the same person, right? You're that guy because that guy knows exactly what you're thinking.
Yep.
When you went to your buddy Matt's mom's house and she said he didn't have you guys, that's it. That's it. Because you need that support system. Because I need that. As much as I bitched and complained to everybody that would listen about how stressful it was, and God, my life is a freaking hot mess. You know what I mean? It's like someone took a big bag of Legos and dumped them out on the floor, and my one Lego was in the middle of that pile, and I had to go find it every day. Mm-hmm. But then when I get out, there's none of that. Yeah. My life, I needed that chaos in my life in order to function. Yeah. So, and I finally snapped out of it. And I got a good job, but I found myself needing to be, as much as I wanted to get away from it, I would not have been happy. Because now I work for the military. I'm in and around submarines every day of my life.
You mean that you found purpose?
Facts. You're exactly right.
Crazy.
It's weird. And
Well,
that ties right into what you were saying about your friend Matt.
Yep.
And that's heartbreaking because you finding that out after the fact that man, I could have been here because you don't realize it and it isn't your fault and it's not your buddy's fault. It's because you're wired different because you don't want to. And I went through about a year and a half ago. I went through a serious bout of depression and anxiety, and I was afraid to go talk to somebody about it. I didn't want to, because
you didn't want to burden them.
It's a stigma. I'm a man. I don't need no one's help. I do what I want.
Yep.
Right. And that's bad. I
had some have to deal with my own stuff myself.
Yes.
And
I don't want to burden anybody. Exactly.
Else.
I don't want to burden my wife or my family or my friends. But I had some serious health issues because of that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to be dramatic and say I almost died because I don't know what would happen. But I was scared because I didn't know what was happening to me. And one day I just memory loss and my blood pressure shot up and I had to go to the ER. They thought, man, heart attack. But then they're like, no, man, you're having an anxiety attack. And that's when my wife said, you need to get some help. And I said, all right, well, I got to man up and go get help. And I didn't want to talk to who the hell? I don't talk to some stranger about my problems.
I wouldn't either.
Right. But I would talk to you about my problems because you know what? We're right here, man. Mm-hmm. You and me are right here. You were in Marine Corps, but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The only thing that's different is the uniform, and that's it.
I'm not going to talk to some 24, 25-year-old kid right out of psych school who has no idea whatsoever what I've been through.
Correct.
I'm not going to, and I refuse to. And I think that's a big problem with what's going on with the VA right now.
Right.
Is number one, the psychs are getting overloaded, and number two, I feel like in that type of mental health, it needs to be with somebody who a relationship has been established with, because I'm not going to talk to some stranger about some crazy
that's exactly
stuff that I have going on.
That's exactly what my thought process was.
Not going to.
But I did. I went to a psychologist. I didn't go to a psychiatrist because the first thing a psychiatrist wants to do is put you on meds. But I went to a psychologist.
That's the worst thing you can do.
It was a cool environment. She had a nice office. It was relaxed. They had like the sound machines that make soothing noises, and I was like, wow, and a little mister for the
some essential oils in the background.
So I went down there and I sat with her, and she was British, and I love a British accent.
Great accent.
So she was talking to me, and I was so relaxed. And next thing you know, I'm telling this girl my whole life story, but I was comfortable. I felt like she gave a shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I stopped going because I felt I don't need that anymore because I felt better. My wife said, "Oh, you've changed. Your attitude is different. You're not cranky anymore. Now I'm back to being a grumpy old man because this is what I am."
Yeah.
But it changed, but only because I went and I let it out. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that people would. It's hard to realize it yourself, right? When you're at that point of your life where you're struggling, but you really don't know it or you don't want to admit it, and that would help people a lot more. And I think that's part of what you're doing. That Salvage USA is getting people to slowly open up to that, right?
Yep.
By being involved with like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. We are starting the discussion, and I think that is the most important part. And honestly, I blame the commands. I blame the leadership in DOD, active leadership, because again, like you were saying, there's this negative stigma with talking to somebody. Could you imagine going back to when you were enlisted and telling your team leader, I've got to go talk to the chaps?
My chief would be like,
could you imagine that?
No, my chief would punch me in the face.
You're out of the team. You're gone.
Exactly.
You're gone.
Yeah.
No
You're
questions
off the boat.
asked.
Exactly.
You're out.
Dude, I had my shoulder was a hot mess. I could barely lift my arm, put my uniform on for a year and almost 2 years. My last 2 years on my last boat. Because I knew that if I went to the doctor and told him my shoulder's messed up, guess what? I'm off the boat.
You're done.
And I wasn't doing that. As much as I said I wanted off the boat, I didn't want off the boat. Yep. That was my life, man. Those people, I was close it sounds awful, but you'll get it. You're closer to those men on the boat than you are to your own family, because they are family, and you're around them more than you're around your family.
Yep.
When you're working in port, you're working 10 to 12 hour days. You're home for 4 hours, and you see your kids and your wife, and you go to bed, and you get up at 4:35 in the morning and do it all over again. You go to sea, and you're at sea for 6 months. Your wife's the lieutenant commander in the Navy. You know exactly what I'm saying. Yep. You're around these people, and they become your family. So you don't want to not be around them. Even though you talk shit when you get home, you're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to get off this boat.
Yeah.
And when you finally
then,
do, it's freedom, but deep in your mind, in the back of your head, you know that's not where you really want.
But then when you haven't seen them for a few days, you're like, I can't wait to get back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it, right? After the weekend, Monday, you're like, I don't want to go to work, but man, I can't wait to see the guys again.
Be like, oh, what did Frankie do this weekend? Because he probably
that was
did
always my
something.
fear as the chief was like, man, what am I going to walk into? But you know what? I had a great group of guys that worked for me, and if anything was going down, I would at least got a phone call.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna take a break real quick. We'll come back and we'll talk about what you guys actually do at Salvage USA, because the more I've learned about Salvage USA over the last 3 months, the more I'm impressed, and
We got a lot going on.
it is. So we're gonna talk about that right when we come back. You're watching Just a Guy with a Beer. We have Jordan from Salvage USA, and we are on episode number 23, coming to you live from the Epicure Brewing Studios. We'll be right back after these quick messages. Thanks, guys.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of people getting together and having a good time. These are some of the sounds that you're gonna hear when you visit Epicure Brewing on Franklin Street in Norwich. Epicure is a craft brewery that wants you to experience friends, a lot of laughter, and of course, Epicure's craft beers on tap. Bring your friends or come down and make some new ones while enjoying the freshest quality beer in the area. Epicure Brewing is located at 40 Franklin Street, Norwich, right in the heart of the historic district of Norwich. Check out Epicure Brewing on the web at epicurebrewing.com, as well as finding them on Facebook. So come on down and add your voice to the sounds you hear in the background right now. Follow the hashtag Epicure Brewing for life.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Pat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.gnsautosales.llc.com.
Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a foodie flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer. Unify is a local full-service marketing and branding agency that helps your business strategize, develop, and implement a marketing plan using the best platforms and materials to connect you with the right customers quickly. Find them on Facebook at UnifyCT or on Instagram at Unify_CT, or call Laura directly at 860-326-6003. Strategize, develop, and connect. That's Unify. Mr. Beardo Beard Oils and Tattoo Juice are the highest quality, no BS oils on the market. All hand and homemade to meet the specific needs of everyone's beard and ink. Just a Guy with a Beard personally uses both of these products, and I can tell you that my ink has never looked better, and my beard is fuller, thicker, and healthier than ever. Get your beard pumping and your tattoo popping with Mr. Beardo Beard Oils and Tattoo Juice. Find them on the web at www.mrbeardo.com. Hillfoot Clothing is the first 100% veteran sales team owned by two local Connecticut combat wounded veterans. Every garment is designed, printed, sold, handled, and shipped only by veterans. We source our products 100% made in the USA and believe if you have a flag on your shirt, that shirt should be made in the United States, period. Hillfoot Clothing Company. American made, American proud.
All right, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beard, episode number 23. I have Jordan from Salvage USA here, and we are talking.
We're talking shop.
We're talking shop, man. We're talking shop. So I'm looking at the list of people who are watching right now. We got a lot of vets watching right now, and I think that's awesome.
And
So a lot of mutual friends, a lot of your friends, a lot of my friends. And listen, if this show helps one person,
It's worth it.
it's totally worth it. Plus, it's worth it anyway. Drinking beer with you, you're a fucking legend, bro.
Hey! This is just as therapeutic for me as it is for you, brother.
It is. So before we took a break, we'll talk about our beer in a minute because we're drinking some pretty decent beers right now. So
Good beers.
thanks, Nico,
That's for you,
my
brother.
man. So we
He's
talked
awesome.
before we took the break. We wanted to talk a little bit about your company, Salvage USA, and is it salvageusa.org, right?
Yep.
And so if you want to find out more, you can go to salvageusa.org. But I want you to just tell us a little bit about what you guys do, because it's one thing to go and read about it, but it's completely other hearing someone who's there and does it every day.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing.
Absolutely. So initially, the Matty Lou thing when I was diving, it's like, okay, we're going to base this around diving, and we are going to have specialists attached to these dives. But then the what hit the world, and everything shut down.
Yep.
I hate even saying his name. It's just so annoying to me.
It's so annoying.
It's so annoying. And so all of us, we started thinking on the board. We've got 12 people on our board, and we have about 3 or 4 who aren't publicly on the board because they're active duty NSW. They're Naval Special Warfare. So they're helping us out behind the scenes and doing a fantastic job. But the virus hit, and then the Navy put this crazy restriction.
my
this
God.
crazy. Basically, it was putting these poor people on house arrest.
Yeah.
It's like you can go to your home.
And they're still doing it. I think it's even worse
And then-
now, right?
Then they started. Yeah. What HipCon is what they call it?
Yeah, I know they-
like Charlie or
I saw in San Diego, some commander, one of the boat skippers tried to bring all his sailors to the boat for a month before they get underway for deployment over the holidays,
dude,
because he was worried that
don't
people were going to
even
get
start that. So my wife, let me tell you real quick, that poor thing, she has been strapped to the pier in Norfolk.
That's terrible.
For months.
Yeah.
Like throughout this year, and so they can go out for a couple weeks, and then some attachment comes on their ship, and they haven't been quarantining,
And then they have to
infect
quarantine
people
again?
on the ship, and it's like,
Yes.
what? When the hell's the point?
Yeah.
And it's just, I just hope that we can kind of go back to normal. Anyways, I hate talking about this.
Yes, I know
it's the word. It's like
it's so bad because I don't understand. You have to quarantine for 2 weeks. We're leaving on deployment for 6 months. 2 weeks before you go, you got to quarantine. But this dude was going out for 7 weeks. It wasn't even deployment. It was like a normal SEAL steaming
exercise.
time. Yeah, the SEAL's discrepancy time or whatever the heck they freaking call
they're
it.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're going out for 2 or 3 weeks, and they're strapped to the pier for 2 weeks prior.
It's
Like,
the
are you-
worst, man. God, I'm glad I'm out.
And the money they're spending. Anyways, jeez, man, you're getting me worried.
Sorry, we got off the rails a little bit. So we're gonna bring it back.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
Let's talk about some of the cool stuff you guys do, man.
So the virus hit, and we had to adapt on what we were going to be doing with the company. So, okay, crap. These guys, they can't travel right now.
Right.
We need to figure something else out. What are we going to do? And I'm telling you, Scott, this last year has been the weirdest, profound journey that I've ever been on.
Yeah, I think if I hear the word unprecedented one more time, because that's what it is. It's everything that every time something happens, well, that's unprecedented.
Yep.
Well, because we've never. I mean, not in modern times. Obviously the plague in the 1500s.
Yeah.
They didn't have Facebook then. They didn't have social media then, right? It was just a bunch of British people getting killed by a rat.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but now we have medicine, but still,
yeah.
people are dying from this stuff, and it's serious.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. What bothers me about it is it doesn't affect everyone the same way, but we're all getting treated the same way, and you're being called selfish because you're exercising your freedoms.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anyone at risk. I haven't seen my mom. My mom's watching. Hi, Mom, love you.
Hey, Mom.
I haven't seen my mom since December 28th of last year,
Ugh.
and it sucks. And she lives in 2 states down. She lives in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I haven't seen I saw my dad briefly, dropping my kids off for a couple weeks during the summer. We meet in New York and we do the kid swap. That's it. I saw my dad for a total of maybe 10 minutes this year.
I think that the real question is, what's your stopping point? Like how long are people?
They want everyone to get this vaccine.
but understood. But at what point are people going to be like, no, I'm going to
It's already
visit my
happened.
family
Yeah.
for Christmas?
Yeah, it's
Like,
already people did it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's like don't tell me don't travel and go visit my family. Like, at what point do we set that boundary and we're like, no, you know what? I'm going to practice, you know, the safe procedures, and then I'm going to go visit my family,
Right?
Because that's one of the only positive things that is happening in this entire country. Right
That's
now.
what we were talking about. My wife and I talking about, you know, maybe we'll just quarantine. We'll just stay home and I'm gonna say quarantine, but we'll not gather because we have the same group of friends that we hang around with all the time. We always know there's the same circle of friends that we hang out with. We've been hanging out with them since day one. When we were close friends before this all started, and we all know where we've all been. So it's just, you know, we hang out with them all the time. But I don't want to put my mom at risk. So if I want to just stay away from my social circle for a little while, just so I can see my mom, because eventually I got to go see my mom, and I'm not going to care about
exactly.
anything. So, but speaking of this, real quick, I just want to get to something. I don't know what it's like down in Virginia for you guys, but here in Connecticut, it's been pretty terrible as far as I worry about small businesses.
What's going on with this food thing right now?
So yeah, I want to get to that right now. So I have some very close friends, and you can see around me. I have These Guys Brewing. I have Epicure Brewing. I have 86th Restaurant in Norwich. You know, they are all friends of mine, and G&S Auto Sales. It's my best friend's business, a small car dealership. All these people are struggling because of the restrictions. Now, a car dealership's a little bit different, but still, it's a small business. But I feel extra bad for the small businesses that are restaurants and or breweries because they have to come up with all these stupid ass rules, right? So I was speaking with a good friend of mine, Becca Alberts. She's one of the owners of These Guys Brewing, which is one of my great sponsors. And she says, to all the listeners, the Connecticut Restaurant Association is asking for assistance in their campaign, hashtag Save Connecticut, Save CT Restaurants. So look for that hashtag, Save CT Restaurants, to reach out to all your elected officials and show support for the industry. 600 restaurants to date have closed their doors to COVID-19, due to COVID-19 and the strains of the executive orders. That's wonderful
terrible.
governor. The restaurants need financial assistance due to all the limitations set forth by Governor Lamont. Please log on to ctrestaurant.org and show your support for our neighbors, friends, and family in the industry. So please, guys, take a break from whatever you're doing, from playing whatever video game you're playing on your phone or whatever, and just go to ctrestaurants.org.
Take the 5 minutes.
Like Two Brothers, man. What our good friend Nico
It
at
happened to
Two
me
Brothers
today.
Pizza.
Today, I went there.
It's hard, man. I mean, listen, they've got a fantastic business. Their takeout will thrive, but still, it's not the same. It's not the same.
What does food have anything to do
It doesn't.
with me ordering a beer?
This is the
has-
smartest disease ever, and it doesn't. Apparently, COVID quits infecting people after 9:30 p.m. So it's dumb, man. It's like Florida. You don't hear nothing about Florida, right? They had it spiked a little bit in the summer because they said F it, no masks. Wear a mask if you're going to the theme park, but everything's open.
Yeah.
And it spiked for a little bit, and then it went back down, and you hear nothing. Now it flatlined. Yes, people are getting infected, but listen, at the end of the day, everyone's getting it. That's my theory. Everyone's getting this thing at the end of the day. Everybody in America will have had COVID-19 eventually. It's like the flu. Everybody gets the flu, and it's not going away because I think the flu went away because I didn't hear nothing about the flu. So, but we're off the rails, man.
Here
I
we
just wanted
go.
to mention the Save CT Restaurants hashtag because it's really important to me because it affects my show because it affects my friends who sponsor my show, and that affects me personally because those people are my friends that believed in me when I started this thing, and they're out there breaking their necks every single day to make $1. And then we have these I had to go eat a hot dog.
Well, and the people of Connecticut need to start thinking about who they vote for next time.
Well, I don't want to get into politics because it's a slippery slope, man. And we'll get on that thing and we'll just run in place.
Run.
Because the politics in
The
this
hamster
state,
wheel.
the politics in this state, it's ridiculous. And people it's like punching yourself in the nuts over and over and over again, and then asking why do my nuts hurt? Right? That's what it is. The Democrats elect these people to be their leaders of this state. And then they complain about everything that's happening. Well, duh, you're the one that elected the guy because I certainly didn't I want the state to be a red state because look at all the trouble spots, blue states. But that I don't know. I want to hear
Different
like
story,
what kind of cool stuff.
We're doing so much cool stuff, Scott.
Can I do at Salvage USA? If I wanted to come do some cool stuff with you, what kind of cool stuff can I do?
So when the virus hit, we're like, we have to adapt. So I had a couple of friends of mine, and like that weird journey that I was telling you about earlier, I was introduced from a friend of mine to buddy Randy and Brian of 40 Toes Surf Company in Virginia Beach. And next thing I know, I'm sitting in 2 lawn chairs, with them, and we're sitting in the grass in front of their business, drinking some beer, talking about surfboard build. They're a manufacturer of surfboards. Right. And this weird kind of thing just kind of triggered in my mind. Man, we don't have anything going on right now. Like, we need to do something. What if we could start sending, veterans to come learn how to build surfboards?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they looked at me and they looked at each other like, hell yes.
That's awesome.
And then, meet this guy, George. He is insane. He loves banging steel. He's a blacksmith.
Nice.
Talk to him. I met George. He is the most amazing human on the planet. And he walks around. The mask thing is pretty much implemented anywhere where there's a brick and mortar building. He has this Star Wars mask that he puts over his head, and he rides it on his motorcycle too. And he just and he's got a little Yoda thing,
Baby Yoda
backpack
awesome.
in the back. The guy, I love him so much. And I talked to George and said, hey, blacksmithing, talk to me about it. And so we talked about it. I actually, did a little bit of it myself. I was like, geez, there's so much therapy behind this because what I like to do is I like to put myself in these situations, worst case situations possible. Okay, I'm drinking too much. So I went to the blacksmithing and I brought a bunch of beers and I said, I'm going to try, I know it sounds crazy, to drink as many beers as I can and try to, mirror, someone who's actually has a legit problem, right?
Right.
It took me an hour and a half to drink 1 beer. And during this time, I was like, this is really like good therapeutically, because people who are always reaching for that beer, you know what, they don't have time because, well, I've got to worry about the steel.
Right.
I have to worry about if it's getting hot enough.
Right.
And like my focus is over here. And so it kind of teaches you, well, what's more important now?
Right.
And so you're learning.
That's
there.
awesome.
It's like,
Plus,
hey,
blacksmithing is awesome.
yes, it's fantastic.
That's great.
And George he's insane. I love him to death. So anyways, if you go to Salvage USA, we have a surfboard building. We have skateboard building.
I love that.
By Tribe Skates. DJ Davis, they're fantastic. Prior Navy and Air Force. And what they do is, it's very unique, is they utilize electricity to burn these, crazy figures into the boards themselves. And so we send 2 guys at a time there, and they build these boards. They do everything from deck work to the hardware, all of it.
That's awesome.
We've got the blacksmithing by Mackay Metalworks, George. And then we have coffee roasting classes through Pale Horse Coffee, and then cigar classes after the coffee roasting is over with. And we just got done with a dive trip down in Florida.
Yeah, I remember you right after we started talking. You're like, I'll get back to you after my dive trip, man. And I saw the pictures, and I'm like,
phenomenal. It was
that's
fantastic.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
we just sent 7 veterans down in North Carolina for a hog and a deer hunt.
Oh wow!
And it was fantastic.
That's great. So now, people want to know. If there's someone out there that doesn't want to go to the website, because they will eventually, but like when you're doing all these great things, what is the mission?
The mission is suicide prevention and drug prevention, to be honest.
That's great.
We have a lot of specialists on our board who volunteer.
So it's all pro bono.
Everything is pro bono
fantastic.
right now.
That's great. If any of you are watching, thank you, by the way.
Yes. Everybody's pro bono. We have Dr. Christine Gardner. She's our doc.
Everyone has to have a doc.
Everyone has a doc. Yep. We've got Rachel Kipe. She is our neuromuscular therapist. We have Dr. Matthew Fretwell, who is our addiction counselor and is moving up to director of operations starting January 1st.
Nice.
And he is fantastic. He is going to start trying to do some grant writing, which he's done in his past for other organizations, and he's going to be coming on full time, which is going to be fantastic for the organization.
That is great.
We've got a dive medical officer with Naval Special Warfare right now,
Awesome.
who, he's behind the scenes working, and then we have another orthopedic surgeon with NSW.
You put all this together, man. And these people volunteer their time, but like obviously it just blew up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why, like, we talked briefly at the Silkies hike, but I listened to you talk and I listened to what the things you had to say, and I did some research on my own, man. I said, this is something that I want to be involved with. This is something I can throw all my things behind, and that I can in my platform that I have here, to help these men and women that need our help.
Which has been fantastic.
And if anybody remembers last month, for Veterans Day, I did a fundraiser for you at Salvage USA. We raised $4,100, $4,138, I believe, we raised. So $4,100 went to Salvage USA. Now, that $4,100, what will that go to?
We will probably put that towards our vocational programs. We've got one individual who's active duty, Naval Special Warfare, who is going to be working on a surfboard build starting next week.
Awesome.
We've got 4 scheduled for this month, both in Naval Special Warfare and some other commands affiliated with them. And when we have also a few other who are going to be doing blacksmithing, that's going to cover this entire month and some.
That's awesome, man. Listen, I wish it could have been more. We'll do another one in the future, because nothing makes me happier than giving and having my friends believe in it and they give. And to hear you talk about it and your passion for it, and then to go on and I see on your Facebook, on the website, I see all the awesome things you guys are doing to help the people that need it. It makes me just want to do more. So
Absolutely.
Whatever I can do to help you, man, I'm here. Even if I have to come down and just work with some of those guys and just be around them and be involved. And I'm not a professional, but I mean, we talked about it earlier in the show. We've been there, man. It might not be the same dirt, but we chew dirt together. So that's awesome.
One thing that is different about our organization is we don't only target the veteran demographic, but also the active duty as well. And
that's
so
great.
we try to bridge that gap, and through the vocational activities, essentially what we're trying to do is, there is, like we just talked about a little bit ago, there is going to be a time when you are out of the military, and then what community are you going to have?
Exactly.
You're not going to have one.
Yeah.
So we're encouraging them to go over to these veteran-run businesses, learn a vocational activity, and then once they're done with that activity, we're throwing them into a chat room, basically, a secure chat room. And if you've done surfboard builds, you're in this chat room. And we also throw a few of our specialists in there so they can kind of help them out once in a while if some things
Seems like extreme sports, because, these guys are all social warfare community guys.
Yeah. I mean,
they're ready to do something. Let's go jump off buildings. Let's go.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about it.
I love that.
These people got paid to jump out of airplanes.
The only people that are crazier than submariners, man.
Yeah. Jump out of airplanes and eat people.
Yeah,
that's why
do. Whenever we have SEALs on board, we get along so well. It's like we're long lost brothers, man, because we're just as nuts as them. So
it's like, hey, it's great. We're gonna do a lockout. Okay, cool.
This is awesome, man.
Can I wear pineapple shorts and do it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want, man. That's great. So, all right, so I can't say enough about how happy I am that you came all the way up here to be here tonight, man. This made me so happy, and right before the holidays, man. This is great, and this is an awesome friendship that we've formed over a short period of time, and I hope it continues forever, man. This is good stuff. So we're gonna take a break, do some commercials,
drink some beer.
We'll drink some beer during the break, and then when we get back, we're gonna talk about Army Navy.
Ooh.
Army Navy game this weekend.
Beat Army.
Yeah, we'll talk about we'll talk about some Christmas shows, man, because we gotta hit that. And we'll talk about these awesome beers that you brought too. We've neglected that so far.
We have so much to talk about.
We do. We don't have a lot of time left, but we're going to talk about it.
We got a lot to talk about.
All right. So we'll be right back. Please stay where you are. We're here, at the Epicure Studio with Jordan from Salvage USA, and we're drinking some Fox Farm beers. We're talking about the veteran community and how we're helping them, and then we're going to talk about the Christmas that almost wasn't. That's a great one, too. So hang tight. We'll be right back. You're listening to and watching Just a Guy with a Beard, episode number 23.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of people getting together and having a good time. These are some of the sounds that you're gonna hear when you visit Epicure Brewing on Franklin Street in Norwich. Epicure is a craft brewery that wants you to experience friends, a lot of laughter, and of course, Epicure's craft beers on tap. Bring your friends or come down and make some new ones while enjoying the freshest quality beer in the area. Epicure Brewing is located at 40 Franklin Street, Norwich, right in the heart of the historic district of Norwich. Check out Epicure Brewing on the web at epicurebrewing.com, as well as finding them on Facebook. So come on down and add your voice to the sounds you hear in the background right now. Follow the hashtag Epicure Brewing for Life.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Pat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.gnsautosales.llc.com.
Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a foodie flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer. Unify is a local full-service marketing and branding agency that helps your business strategize, develop, and implement a marketing plan using the best platforms and materials to connect you with the right customers quickly. Find them on Facebook at Unify CT or on Instagram at Unify_CT or call Laura directly at 860-326-6003. Strategize, develop, and connect. That's Unify. Mr. Beardo Beard Oils and Tattoo Juice are the highest quality, no BS oils on the market. All hand and homemade to meet the specific needs of everyone's beard and ink. Just a Guy with a Beard personally uses both of these products. I can tell you that my ink has never looked better and my beard is fuller, thicker, and healthier than ever. Get your beard pumping and your tattoo popping with Mr. Beardo Beard Oils and Tattoo Juice. Find them on the web at www.mrbeardo.com. Killfoot Clothing is the first 100% veteran sales team owned by two local Connecticut combat wounded veterans. Every garment is designed, printed, sold, handled, and shipped only by veterans. We source our products 100% made in the USA and believe if you have a flag on your shirt, that shirt should be made in the United States, period. Killfoot Clothing Company. American made, American proud.
Welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer, episode number 23 in the Epicure Studios here in Jewett City, Connecticut. And before we get going, I just wanted to say, Scotty Thompson, man, I know you're probably sleeping right now. You're recovering from your surgery today. But I love you, brother. I'm thinking about you. And I want speedy recovery so we can ride again. And I can see your smiling face one more time, man. So hang in there, man. He's a fellow torpedoman and Navy Chief Petty Officer, and he rides with me with the Freedom Riders. So quick recovery, Scotty. I love you.
There's something about motorcycles, man.
It is,
Just
man.
going
Especially
out
in the
on
military
road.
and just
It's just
the brotherhood too of being in a club with your friends and the guys at my club that I ride with. We're all military veterans, and we got Army. We have mostly Navy because this is a Navy town, but we have some Army. We have two Army guys. We have an Army guy, and we have a female too, Cindy. She's Army. She was Army and Navy.
I've had a couple people who lost their homes in a fire, and there were a few clubs that rebuilt their home for them,
Right.
gave their family clothes and money for groceries.
Yeah, we
until
do-
it got rebuilt. They're fantastic.
We do that. I mean, we're heavily involved in anything that's veteran, anything with kids. We do a lot. We like to help any kind of runs that do kids, but mostly we're centered around veterans. We actually have our own Wreaths Across America ceremony that we do. It's on the 19th of December. Unfortunately, this year with the you know what, we won't talk about it.
The thing.
The thing that shall not be named, the Voldemort disease.
Voldemort.
So I hope my daughter's watching. She's a Harry Potter.
Don't say its name.
Don't say his name. We have to tone it down. Usually we have local politicians come, like mayors, first selectmen. The Navy comes out and helps us, active duty. A couple other clubs come out and help us. The Riders of Fire come out and help us. But this year we have to keep it small with just a handful of the guys from the club and their families putting it out there. So it sucks. But it's at Jordan Cemetery in Waterford, and it'll be on the 19th, Saturday night, which is National Wreaths Across America Day. So
It's my wife's birthday.
is it? Oh, well, happy birthday! It'll be
To Krista.
yeah. Will she be home?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She'll be home.
Hopefully for more
Hopefully.
than a couple days this time,
Yes.
right?
Yes, hopefully.
So yeah, the Friday that's an important day because it's everywhere. It's not just Freedom Riders, Wreaths Across America Day. That's everybody's. So one more thing I want to touch on before we move on, before we touch on college football. But you know what today is?
What's today?
Today is Victory Monday. That's right. It's Victory Monday for the fourth Monday in a row. You know when the last time I said that was? It's been a long time. 2016, we won 6 games in a row. The New York Football Giants right now are on a tear.
Ooh.
They went to Seattle yesterday in the house that Russ built out in Seattle and took down the mighty, mighty Seahawks. It didn't just, I mean, listen, it was a close game, but it was never close. We owned them. They didn't even score a touchdown until like 2 minutes left in the game.
You had a great day.
I had a great day yesterday. I mean, I watched it with my best friend, who is a Seahawks fan, by the way.
How much beer did you drink yesterday?
I did none because I had a couple Chardonnays with dinner on Saturday night.
It was a Chardonnay day.
Yeah, it was, dude. I drank. We drank. I drank almost I drank a lot. Saturday night was our annual holiday gathering, and we gambled a little bit. We drank a little. So I cracked a bottle of Baker's 46.
Oh, good.
So
good choice.
yeah, I mean, I probably cracked a little too much of that. So yesterday was a chill day. I drank some Powerade and I had
Recovery
a Coke.
day.
Yeah, and I went and got a McRib because that's the best hangover.
Wait, the
food ever.
McRibs are back?
Dude, they've been back for a week. Where you
Are
been?
you serious?
Yeah, since Wednesday.
I've not been.
So if you when we leave here later, if you go down the road about 3.5 miles, there's a McDonald's. The one off the highway here does not have it. It's an independent McDonald's. They don't have the McRib.
So the McRib is back.
The McRib is back, baby.
Oh.
I've had one a lot of times since Wednesday.
Oh boy. Hey, this is the things that we have to look forward to right now. Is the McRib is back.
You know.
Let's
And
do it.
before we talk about Army Navy, especially the Navy, because today's an important day, not just American naval history, but American history. And I love the fact that my son knew about it before I talked to him about it. He texted me from school and he said, "Dad, this is really sad."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? He said, "Morning announcements today."
Yeah,
He said nothing about Pearl Harbor Day.
that's terrible.
And listen, my son is going to be 16 in a couple weeks. He doesn't. We didn't talk about Pearl Harbor Day. He just knows.
They probably didn't have to do the Pledge of Allegiance either.
They do. Our town, we do the Pledge of
Thank
Allegiance.
God.
Yeah, they're now today is also another important day in our town. In 2010, I believe they had some young men and a young woman lost their lives in a car accident today. They're all friends in the same school in high school, so it's a little bit different. They talked about that in the school today because it's an important day in our town.
Yeah.
But my son was a little bit upset that they didn't talk about Pearl Harbor Day because it was 79 years ago, and over time, it kind of gets forgotten about, which is sad because we're losing our World War II vets at I'm gonna say an alarming rate because everyone gets old and dies.
Well,
But, I mean, they're falling by the wayside, man. They're dying because
things are also getting forgotten because
It sucks.
people are offended by things now, and it's history.
Yeah.
And so
someday I hope that 9/11, our Pearl Harbor, does not get forgotten about. So it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough on the sour stuff, man.
Here we
Talking about
go.
the Navy.
McRibs.
And McRibs.
The McRibs.
Saturday. This coming Saturday, 3:00 on CBS.
Big game.
The Army Navy game, baby.
America's game.
Yes, we had a good streak. Because I say we because
I have to be Navy.
yeah, we're
I
your
have
Uber
to be.
drivers, man. The Navy is the Marine Corps' Uber driver. So you guys are part of the Navy. So you don't root for the because there's a lot of Marine Corps guys that are playing for Navy football.
You want to hear a funny story?
I do.
My wife, we were on the same ship together and we didn't know it.
Really?
Yep.
That was before you knew each other.
Yep.
Okay.
Two
That's pretty
Neo.
cool.
Yep.
Nice.
LPD 19, the
Nice.
USS Mesa Verde.
Gator freighter, yeah.
Hey,
Ripping you guys over there.
hey, cutting those squares in the water
Yeah.
all day, every day.
I've been there, man. Well, not above the water, but
Winning the war on
I've hung out
terror.
with those guys before, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I do. I do too, man. I miss it. I miss a lot of things about it, but there's a lot of things I don't miss about it either.
My,
So I would not be happy right now.
Absolutely. My buddy Brian, he's the VP of the organization, and he actually found a picture with Krista in the background.
Nice.
He's like, you are never going to believe
That's awesome.
who I found. And Krista hates it. She said, don't call me this tonight. But I don't call her Krista. I don't call her my wife. I call her the boo-boo. She's the boo-boo. And she is probably hating me right now. For saying that.
Krista, if you're watching,
She's probably hating
Lieutenant
me right
Commander.
now. Lieutenant Commander Boo. There was a package drop-off a couple of weeks ago because they were quarantined to the ship.
Right.
And I put Lieutenant Commander Boo Boo on.
Everybody knew who it was.
And they knew who it was.
I love it. That's good stuff, man.
Yep,
That's good stuff.
It's going to the nav.
The navigator. That's great, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
military family is great. So we know you guys will be rooting for the Navy on Saturday.
Absolutely.
We beat them last year because they won a couple times. They got on their high horse.
They won a couple. They won a couple years in a row.
I know.
And it wasn't good for
We
them.
won 14 years in a row
Yeah.
because all the Army guys were off fighting wars.
Yep.
So the Navy guys were like, all right, well, we're just going to play football and beat your teeth in.
Yeah.
But then Army came back. They had a couple good seasons. This year, both teams are iffy, not itchy. They're iffy. I think the Navy's like 3-5.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Army's record is.
The Navy's been struggling for a while.
They have.
They have.
But
It's-
listen, they could go 1-10 or 1-9, but as long as that one win is Army.
Yep.
So-
Doesn't matter about any other win.
That's it. We had a good run for a while, and the Army had their 2 wins, and my Army friends chirped in for they had their chirp. I know.
Of course. It's just like the Cubs winning the World Series.
Yes.
Okay, you won 1 year in the past,
Right.
how many?
108 years.
Do
Yeah.
you know how many people died after the Cubs won the World Series?
So many.
Do you know how many
Immediately.
people said, I will not die until the Cubs win a World Series?
That's funny.
And then you Google it. You will see on the chart, it just drops.
That's funny.
Tons of people died after the Cubs won the World Series. Their life is my complete. And
Yeah.
they're done.
Same with when the Red Sox won in 04.
Yeah, they're like,
Right.
okay, we're done.
Right.
They won.
I don't need to talk about that. That's
Yeah.
So Navy Army Saturday, Army Navy Saturday, 3:00 CBS. You better watch it because it's going to be good. The Navy's going to win again. It'll be our 3rd victory in a row. We started a new streak. It's going to be awesome.
You want to make a bet?
What would be in the bet? You can't bet against the Navy. No, dude, no.
Dude, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Defense?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to bet on the Navy.
You have to though. I have to.
Well,
Maybe-
your wife is a alum. She's a ring knocker.
Yeah, she's volleyball.
She was volleyball at the
She was,
Naval Academy.
Captain 2010
That's
All
awesome.
Navy girls volleyball.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Was she a
She hit the ball. That's all I can say.
Yes.
I don't know the lingo.
I just learned it this year. I started doing volleyball games at the high school for SNSN where we are tonight.
You have like a setter, and then you have whoever hits the shit out of that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the
She
the server,
She
setter,
scares
spiker,
Me. She scares me.
a libero. It's called the
Because
libero. They wear the different color jersey and the libero because my neighbor is the
Yeah.
libero for our high school team, and she's badass.
I believe it. If
Olivia Doyle, if you're listening, I hope you are.
if I
You
was
are a
on the
badass
other-
libero.
If I was on the other side of the net, I would run. I would just run off the court if she was getting ready to hit that ball.
Yeah.
That
So,
girl.
yeah, my neighbor is the same way.
6'2".
She's not my other friend.
Power.
My other friend, Lynn, her daughter is Cam, is the one who spikes the ball. Who smushes it. I call it a smush, and the girls all love it, and they think it's hilarious. I don't know what to call it, so I called it a smush, and they thought it was great. So she's the one that smushes it,
She's
and she's a tall girl.
That reminds me of that movie with Ben Stiller, Meet the Fockers, when they're in the swimming pool.
Yes.
And then he goes up and he slams the volleyball and hits the bride in the face.
Yes.
Blood everywhere. Yeah,
That's it.
But the roles are reversed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You'd be getting. You're like, oh.
You're like, no, I'm gonna go in the water, under the water.
Yes, but
because
she's trying to spike it.
I don't want to be anywhere close to that.
So we are drinking some beers tonight. Obviously, you've noticed we are drinking some Fox Farm beers, courtesy of the Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak.
Yeah, we were drinking Stet Alt beer. It's fantastic. This is really good, and I like it because it mellowed since we poured it, and it got a little warm. Alt beer should be drink at this temperature. I think it's probably around 45 degrees.
Cellar
and it's really
temperature.
Good. It's perfect.
Yep.
Before that, we drank a Quiet Night. This was a Czech style dark lager, which was fantastic. I got to get more of this. It was really good.
Yeah.
So thank you, Greek Freak, and thank you, Jordan, for bringing it with us.
Thank you, Fox Farms.
Thank you, Fox Farm, for making it.
Fantastic brewery. They're all about the community, and they do things for vets.
So before we go, we have to talk about one thing. I put up the great debate today. Every episode we do something we call the great debate. We've talked about the greatest quarterback of all times, Tom Brady. We've talked about the best Halloween candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Hands down.
my
Hands down.
my option is always the best option because this is my show. So whenever I say is the best, it's the best.
Do you know about the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup adult beverage?
I have heard of that.
It's the Godiva chocolate
Screwball.
liqueur and Screwball.
Yeah, Screwball. Me and Screwball have a very love-hate relationship. I love when I drink it, but I hate the next day.
Oh, it's so good.
We do a lot of that over the summertime. But so this week we talked. It's almost Christmas, so this week we're going to talk about the greatest Christmas special. Not movies are different. Movies are different because movies we can talk about Christmas movies. That's a completely different debate. We're going to talk about that next week. But this week is the greatest Christmas special. So we're talking about anything you would see on TV in the weeks leading up to Christmas. Like you had Rudolph, you had Charlie Brown, you had Frosty the Snowman,
The Grinch,
which you told me off air that was your jam.
That's my jam, dude.
I liked The Grinch. I didn't like the movies. I thought it was a little bit overdone. I thought Jim Carrey was a little too much. I'm not a fan.
But
after Ace Ventura, I'm not a fan of that dude.
But Anthony Hopkins was the narrator, and he did a fantastic job.
Right, but he's not. I think it was Lon Chaney who narrated the original version on the cartoon version, which it's still a classic. It's up there.
Yeah.
But I have to say, my absolute favorite Christmas special ever is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It was done by the Muppets. I think it was somebody. If someone's watching, tell me what year. I think it was in the early '80s because I was still young, but I wasn't like a little kid because I remember it. Mm-hmm. But it was the Muppets, and it was pretty badass. There's some good music to it, good storyline.
All right, as far as music goes, I have to disagree. I think the Charlie Brown Christmas album is
everyone
by
likes that.
far the best Christmas album of all time.
Well, that's my second favorite Christmas show is the Peanuts
It's
Christmas.
fantastic.
Yeah, I like Charlie Brown Christmas. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, I think it's actually
Merry
called.
Christmas,
Yeah, they're
Charlie
always,
Brown.
and now there's some controversy with it being
Oh, geez, don't even
politically correct. They
just
took it
don't
off the
even-
air.
Just don't even.
You can only watch it on like streaming, like on Peacock or
Never heard
PBS.
of it.
Peacock is like a streaming service that NBC has. So it's not on regular TV because God forbid we should offend somebody. Like, how are they offending anybody?
What the hell is there to
I don't
offend?
know, I
It's
don't
Charlie
know.
Brown Christmas.
Right. They took off the Easter Beagle and the Great Pumpkin. Like, what is this even?
You know what? I bet I know why. They probably had an American flag in that.
Oh, my mom came through.
Oh, jeez.
My mom came through.
Oh,
1977 with Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. No way. I got to look that up. I don't believe you, Mom. You're lying. There's no way it's that old. I mean, I was 7 years old, man. That's the same year as Star Wars came out.
By the way, fantastic.
Mandalorian. You watching The Mandalorian?
I have not watched Mandalorian.
If you're a Star Wars person, you have to watch The Mandalorian. You have to.
Why?
It's
Does that go to? Is that Boba Fett?
It's not Boba Fett, but it is his. It's the race of the Mandalorian. It's the race. Plus, they have a lot of bounty hunters. You'll recognize a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
Boba Fett makes an appearance. He's a little fat. Not gonna lie, but it's not Baby Yoda. It's Gorg. His name is Gorg. He's a little.
So this
he talks the same
this
as
is pre-Yoda.
This is I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's not Yoda. It's the same race as Yoda, but he's not Yoda.
So what's up with the little baby Yoda stuff?
It's not Yoda, but it's not Baby Yoda. If you talk to like a Star Wars nerd, they will correct you on the spot, like I just did. His name is Gorg. I think his name is Gorg.
Gorg?
Something like that, yeah. Someone, I don't know. No spoilers.
Yeah, don't spoil it,
Monica
guys.
said no spoilers. Yeah, not spoilers. No spoilers.
Who said it?
Monica Coit. You know her?
Yeah, I think that's that might be Kurt's girl. I don't know.
I don't know her. She has to be one of your friends.
The mysterious Monica.
Mysterious Monica. So she said, "Don't spoil it." So Grogu. That she just Grogu.
Grogu.
That's Baby Yoda is actually
Nerd.
Baby Yoda, based on the Lone Wolf and Cub samurai.
Is that
shit.
like a Lion King thing?
Yeah, Thor Torgerson said it's.
By the way, I like the new Lion King. It's not bad, just like the Jungle Book.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But the originals, like okay, the Grinch,
things we grew
Charlie
up
Brown,
with, bro. Yeah,
like Rudolph.
don't ruin it by putting up like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like any of those new Disney real life. The Beauty and the Beast one was good because that's my favorite Disney movie.
Here's what I want to know: is with all of the old clay animation,
Yeah,
how much time did it take them to like inch by inch?
all
like,
those are
move these
amazing.
things.
By the way, those like
You got to think about
the
it.
heat miser and the cold
That had to
miser.
take so
and
much time.
dude. That was,
Frosty melts. Like, how long did that take?
and yeah, Burl Eyes was
These
the
are the
snowman.
questions
Yeah.
that keep me awake at night.
In the shower.
can't
Those are
sleep.
shower questions.
Those are shower questions with
Yeah.
my shower beer.
Yes.
Do you have a shower beer? Have you ever like
Do I have
drank
a
beer and took a shower?
dude? I actually have a koozie that hangs on the wall. In my
I do
shower.
too.
Yeah, my wife. I used to have what it was called a jacuzzi.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like a
yeah,
foam
yeah.
thing
Yeah, and
that had
sticks.
Velcro.
It sticks.
Now I have. I one up that. Last year I got it's called a bro box. It's a wooden crate that came with a pry bar,
I got one of those too.
and you open it up.
last year.
It was the shower beer bro box, and it had a shower speaker you can stick to the wall, so
Oh,
you can
that's cool.
Bluetooth your. Because I always listen to my phone
Yeah.
to the music in the shower while you're drinking a shower beer.
Yeah.
But it had this badass shower koozie that holds a can or it holds a glass, a pint glass,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have anything on the back. It's not like suction. It's like a shiny plastic, and it just sticks to a wet wall.
Oh,
And
that's high speed.
so when you clean it, you have to. It has to be clean.
That must have been like a generation 2.
I don't know, but there was like beer soap in there and a bunch of cool beer related items for shower beers. And so yes, it had a beer glass. It was plastic because it's a shower, and it said shower beer, and it had my name on it with an octopus, and it's awesome.
Can I tell you something about
I'm
that
an octopus
box?
guy.
That box. I had the most difficult time opening that stupid crate. Seriously. Krista, aka the Boo Boo, I said, hey, film me real fast so I can pop this thing in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that hard. I had a crowbar, a hammer, and I was hammering and hammering and hammering at this box, and it would not open.
So I just want to clarify something that Monica is Odin's woman.
Oh, okay.
No, he doesn't own her.
It is the Monica.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is his better half.
Yes.
So
That is 100%.
that is
100%.
Odin's better half. Yes.
She keeps him
Thank
in
you
check.
for catching us up to speed, Monica, for that. The man crate. Lisa Newell says man crate. They send it with a crate. Yes, I did get the man crate.
Wait,
It was
did Lisa send me the crate? Because I still haven't figured out who sent it to
Lisa,
me.
did you send Jordan the man crate? High speed, low drag. What? That's good stuff, man.
That's good. No, wait, that's good trash.
That's
That's good trash right there.
In fact, I saw my man crate today in the closet. I didn't have the heart to throw it away. It's so cool.
No, you can't throw it away.
No, it's like the bark box for dudes.
How long did it take you to open it?
I don't remember. A couple minutes. I was so excited to open it up and see what it was. It was the best idea ever. My wife that was the best Christmas gift I ever got.
Okay, I started getting very aggressive with this box.
I think my kid helped me.
There was glass in it. It was like a custom glass. And
My glass was plastic because it was a shower beer glass.
this was like glass, and it had a decanter in it and all.
Nice.
It was nice.
Speaking of that, we have to crack into that before we go.
Yep. The gentleman.
Whoops. So that's we're gonna crack the gentleman. We're gonna do we're going to do a little toast before we get off the air here. So we'll just do a mini. And next week, tune in to Just a Guy with a Beer, episode number 24. We're going to have David Walner. He's a pioneer in the Connecticut craft brewing circle. He was one of the first. He may have actually been the first.
We need more people like that in the world.
Craft beer in Connecticut, Willimantic Brew Company in Willimantic, Connecticut, in the old post office. So it's the first time that I ever drank craft beer in Connecticut was Willimantic Brewing. So it's kind of nostalgic for me to have Dave on. I'm pretty excited about it.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a good episode. So let's do a toast real quick to our fallen brothers and sisters, man. To all the ones who've gone before us, to all the ones who went with us, and the ones that are going to go down range after us.
Never above you, never below you, always beside you.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
That's good. So, thank you, Jordan, for showing up. Come all the way from Virginia to be here, man. It means a lot to me, dude. It does. It means everything to me. And I want some pictures from the excursions you guys go on, man. That me and my viewers helped send those guys on. We're going to do it again, brother. We're going to do it again.
We will.
We'll do another one in the spring. We'll try to top what we got here. So it was 41-38, I think.
Yeah. So one thing about the dive, the rehabilitative trip that we took those guys on is we learned a lot, and we're not a one-stop shop.
Right.
Our participants, this isn't just, hey, we're going to do this one thing for you and then we're out. You're just a number, blah blah blah. This is a long-term commitment for these people and it's a big investment, right, but it's worth it. And one thing that I think you will find super interesting is during our debrief with these people, they said that they came to a realization with a couple things in their lives. Number one, they don't spend enough time on themselves. They don't love themselves. Yeah. They don't appreciate themselves, and they're always hard on themselves. And
That's
number
facts.
two, community. They're like, I haven't hung out with anybody, my people, in I don't know how long. Community is so important.
It absolutely is.
And the last thing was, I have had these things built up inside of me for over a decade. And for them to feel comfortable with letting that out, dude, they said they felt like this huge weight was lifted off their shoulders.
It's worth every single dollar.
It absolutely is. And so if there is anybody out there that, is contemplating, calling it a day, those three things, try to seek one of those out and then go from there.
And if you want to, reach out to you and your team down at Salvage USA. It's www.salvageusa.org. Reach out, and if you want to just make a donation, or there's plenty of things you can do to help, and there's buttons all over your page.
It's very
be
interactive,
involved, and it's awesome. It's a great website. It's super informative, and I can't thank you enough for being here, man. It means the world to me. So thanks for coming in, Jordan. We're going to close this one out tonight, and don't forget, next week we'll be here 7 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. David Walner from Willimantic Brewing will be our guest on episode number 24. For now, Scott Fryer, Jordan Hebenstreit, I thank you, my brother, for coming. Salvage USA is great, and anything I can do, I might even just take a ride down when the weather gets warmer and just be involved and be around you guys. I would love to do it.
We'll get involved with some vocational activities. We'll introduce you to some people.
That would be the best.
It'll be a great time.
I mean, I'll do a show from down there, too. That would be great.
That would be fantastic.
Cool beans. All right, guys, you know the deal. Be safe, wear your mask, social distance, and definitely do not beer shame your friends. Just a Guy with a Beer. We're out.
You've been listening to Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer. Check out Scott Fryer next time over most of these same radio stations for conversation, information, intelligence, and lots more beer. See you next time on Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer.
Okay, bye. Stop making noise.